Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike.
Hi, I'm Rainbow.
And we are back here with part 2 of our very interesting look at plants in Taiwan that hate you and want you to die.
Oh, no.
Well, they're not really. They don't hate you.
They're just poisonous.
They're just plants. They're doing what they do, but you don't want to get involved with them, especially by touching or eating them. We learned about the golden pothos, which can cause a skin irritation and be very bad if you eat it.
But not fatal.
Not fatal. We had the dumb cane and stops you from talking. And I think the worst was that snake plant.
You've got to keep it away from your pets.
Yeah, it could actually be really bad for your pets, your snake, your cats, and your dogs.
Snakes.
And of course, there was also the Taiwanese murder tree.
Oh gosh.
No, we didn't have a murder tree. But the good thing was we did kind of learn, apart from the golden pothos, the dumb cane, the snake plant, the names don't really sound too attractive, so it's a good thing. We don't want to have these around us unless you like living dangerously, right? And having deadly plants around you as you sit on your sofa made of knives or something like that. But today we have more poisonous plants. We're going to warn you about them. And these ones are actually more interesting and scarier. I'm not sure scarier, but certainly information that might be more useful because these are common plants.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with one that you might have eaten for lunch or breakfast or dinner recently. So let's check it out. Taro is a very popular ingredient in some Asian countries. Surprisingly, though, the leaves and the stems of Asian taro can be poisonous, as they contain those same raphides found in pothos and dumb cane. Therefore, try to avoid touching unfamiliar leaves when you go hiking. Far more deadly than Asian taro is the tung tree, which blooms in Taiwan around May during the Hakka Tung Blossom Festival. A tung tree can grow as high as 20 meters, and its fruits contain seeds used to manufacture tung oil, an effective wood finish. Just one of these seeds, though, can be enough to kill someone if eaten. All right, yeah, so we begin with a plant. This is a plant. It's also a vegetable or a tuber, you might call it, but it can also be dangerous. Kind of like the little sprouts out of a potato. We mentioned those yesterday.
Little eyes.
Yeah, those can be dangerous too. What are we talking about? We're talking about taro. That wonderful purple.
Yeah, that purplish, whitish thing.
Purple food that people eat, right? They put it in
a
hot pot or cook with it. It says taro is a very popular ingredient in some Asian countries. Yes, East Asian, Southeast Asian countries. People might eat taro. It is a common ingredient. An ingredient is a food item that we find in our food or we use along with other foods to make recipes, to make dishes. It could be anything from sugar and salt that you throw into things to tomatoes and lettuce and carrots, which would be maybe the ingredients of a salad or something like that. But if you're putting food into your food, that is an ingredient of some kind. For example, I only use the freshest ingredients in my cooking when I'm going out to buy carrots and tomatoes and apples and other things. Even meat would be an ingredient. Those are all things you want. And yeah, fresh, healthier, tastes better, that kind of thing. So taro, why will it kill us? How will it kill us? I want to know.
Surprisingly, though, the leaves and the stems of Asian taro can be poisonous as they contain those same raphides found in pothos and dumb cane.
Wow.
Therefore, try to avoid touching unfamiliar leaves when you go hiking. So it's those leaves that could make you just itch and swell up.
Interesting.
You don't want to eat them, probably.
I'm trying to think, when I see taro at the supermarket, usually it's just the taro. It looks kind of like a potato. It might be in a bag. It might be a little dirty. But you don't usually see green leaves or stems. So that's good. And you don't want to try to be, a chef and go, oh, I'm going to cook with taro leaves, because that could be a very bad idea and your restaurant will go out of business. Far more deadly than Asian taro is the tung tree, like tongue blossoms. Wow, the tung tree, okay, which blooms in Taiwan around May during the Hakka Tung Blossom festival.
Sounds like a dangerous festival.
Interesting. No, well, it's beautiful. Tongue blossoms are lovely. But we're talking about how they bloom. We're talking about the flower of the tongue tree. That might be okay, or at least don't eat them, but the parts of it can be dangerous. Yes, when something blooms, we're thinking of a flower as it opens, right?
Yeah,
when the flower
blossoms.
is growing, it'll have a little bit of green, and then that will form, something kind of like this shape. And then after a few nice sunny days with some rain, it will open up like that. And there's a flower there. That action, that verb of opening up and becoming a flower, or what looks like to us a flower, the opening up, is to bloom. The roses in my garden are finally blooming. So it might take a certain special time of year. I think different plants bloom, different flowers bloom at different times of year, and that kind of thing. And when it blooms, that pretty thing is a
blossom.
That's right, it's a blossom.
Blossom is that little flower that comes out, and blossoms, many different blossoms covering the land. So
Cherry blossoms.
Cherry blossoms, exactly. Those are very, very common in the springtime. Loads and loads of beautiful flowers that have just bloomed gathered together. They're called blossoms. The trees were covered in beautiful blossoms. Lovely. Okay, a tongue tree can grow as high as 20 meters, and its fruits contain seeds used to manufacture tongue oil, an effective wood finish. Just one of these seeds, though, can be enough to kill someone if eaten. So don't put strange things in your mouth if you don't know what they are, because you never really know if they're poisonous or not.
That is incredible. So maybe they crush the seeds. Seeds often have oil in them.
Okay.
Right? And a wood finish, that's something if you're making something out of wood, the finish would be kind of like a thin paint, like a watery paint, but then it makes it all shiny and protective and nice. So that's good, but that oil or whatever is in the seed can be very dangerous. Just one could kill a person. Man. This sounds like something good to remember if you're writing a murder mystery story.
It's like someone just got
murder at the Tongue Blossom Festival or something. Anyways, yeah, so they do it. They manufacture things with the tongue blossom seeds. To manufacture is basically to make, but probably in a factory, business, industry kind of way, okay? So if you're making a paper airplane because you're bored, you're not manufacturing them unless you make 1,000 a day and sell them. All right, so when we think of companies and factories, now we're talking places where they manufacture stuff. For example, he worked at a factory that manufactured cars. They made cars on a big scale. All right, let's take a break, and then we'll come back with more plants you don't want to meet on a dark night.
Never.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们今天要继续介绍一些有毒植物。课文一开始写到，芋头 taro 在一些亚洲国家是一种非常受欢迎的食材。不过呢，姑婆芋 Asian taro 它的叶子和茎都可能有毒，因为它们也含有真晶体。所以同学们去健行、去徒步旅行的时候，请试着避免触碰不熟悉的叶子哦。那比姑婆芋更致命的是油桐树。在台湾5月的时候会有这个客家油桐花节，那油桐树大约就是在这个期间开花。油桐树可以长到20公尺高，它的果实含有用来制造桐油的种子。不过呢，只要吃1颗种子就足以让人致命。好，单字 ingredient 它表示食材、原料或者是构成要素。bloom 这个动词表示开花、繁荣或兴盛。Blossom 是指花，尤其是果树的花。再来看到 manufacture 这个动词，它表示大量制造、生产。我们补充一下 ，Mike 老师在讲芋头时，他有提到 tuber，T-U-B-E-R，tuber 是指块茎。那他还有提到这个马铃薯发芽，我们可以用到 sprout 这个字 ，S-P-R-O-U-T，sprout 当名词可以指新芽或是苗，当动词就是发芽。好，这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。 这边我们来学习主词补语的倒装。要强调主词补语或者是主词修饰语比较长的时候，可以把补语移到句首。那么主词跟 be 动词要倒装，所以这个句型就会是主词补语加 be 动词加主词。举例来说 ，A note left by his mom was lying on the kitchen table。我们现在把这个主词补语 lying on the kitchen table 移到句首，然后再经过倒装，句子就变成 Lying on the kitchen table was a note left by his mom。在厨房桌上的是一张他妈妈留的字条。好，介华课文中。
Oleander is grown across Asia and, like the tongue tree, is known for its pretty flowers. In Taiwan, oleanders are often grown along highways as they are believed to improve air quality. While they are beautiful and good for the environment, they are also deadly if eaten. Although there are plenty of poisonous plants around us every day, that doesn't mean we should be worried. Learning about them is the first step to staying safe and being able to enjoy nature without putting ourselves in harm's way.
All right, so let's take a look at what else we might want to avoid if we don't want to get poisoned. Now, this plant is really beautiful, but we have to be careful. It's called oleander. The article says oleander is grown across Asia and, like the tongue tree, is known for its pretty flowers. Beautiful things can be poisonous. In Taiwan, oleanders are often grown along highways as they are believed to improve air quality. While they are beautiful and good for the environment, they are also deadly if eaten. So again, don't put things in your mouth. Don't let your kids put things in your mouth. Because they could be poisonous.
If you're on a long car trip, don't stop your car on the highway and just start eating flowers next to the road. That might seem easier than stopping at 7-Eleven, but it will kill you. Although there are plenty of poisonous plants around us every day, that doesn't mean we should be worried exactly. Okay. Unless you're the kind of person who just eats plants no matter what, no matter where you are. You're like, I don't need food, I just eat random, mysterious flowers, then you're in trouble. But most people won't do that. So there are plenty of things that are deadly around us, but most of us will never choose to eat them, especially now that we know more information about how bad they can be. Plenty is a pronoun that means lots, lots of something. If you have plenty of something, you have lots of something. Generally more than you need, right? So if you're having a party, you want to have plenty of food and drinks. You don't want to run out of food and drinks and stuff like that. So plenty, lots, more than you need. There are plenty of cookies in the cookie jar. So if you have 3 kids at your house and you have 40 cookies, that will be plenty.
Learning about them, these plants, is the first step to staying safe and being able to enjoy nature without putting ourselves in harm's way. Yes, it's very important to do the research and very important to maybe you can just watch, but maybe don't touch and maybe don't pick them up. Maybe you can take a picture and see on Google, but don't put things in your mouth.
Or just get your food at the supermarket.
Yeah.
Don't get it next to the highway.
Don't go touching random things.
Yeah, don't shop for your vegetables in the forest. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here, hopefully. If you stay away from these plants, we'll see you back here in the near future. Otherwise, maybe we'll see you in hospital. But no, don't do that. Just stick with what you know.
All right, we've got our what do you think question, which I will ask Mike.
Oh, okay.
Do you think people should keep houseplants that are potentially harmful? Why or why not?
That's a good question. But today, right now at this moment, I don't think keeping them is a problem because now we all know what plants can be dangerous, and it's just a good idea to be informed about the plants you bring into your home. Knowledge is your friend. What about you?
I definitely would not keep anything poisonous in my house in case I have guests, animals, or kids come over. And you know, maybe I would forget to remind them, oh, stay away from this and this. And I just like the idea of being surrounded by everything that makes me feel safe.
Okay, that's another good answer too. See, it is a complicated question. Well, take care, guys. Don't eat strange plants.
No.
Do most of your plant shopping at the supermarket and not by the side of the highway. And we will hopefully see you back here very soon. Until then, all the best and bye-bye.
好，那最后一个要介绍的是 oleander 夹竹桃。夹竹桃被种植在亚洲各地，跟油桐树一样，以美丽的花朵闻名。那在台湾，夹竹桃经常种植在公路的沿线，因为人们认为夹竹桃可以改善空气品质。虽然它们又美丽又对环境有益，可是如果食用它们也会致命哦。课文最后提到说，虽然我们日常周遭有很多有毒植物，但是也不用太担心啦。认识这些植物就是保持安全的第一步。那总之就是记得不要任意触摸或食用不熟悉的植物。Rainbow 老师刚刚用到一个形容词 random，R-A-N-D-O-M，random 是描述随机的或任意的。那课文单字 plenty 它是代名词，表示丰富充足。Plenty of 就可以表达很多的什么，大量的什么。这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。我们来看第一个重点是主词 be believed to 加上原形动词，是表达据信怎么样，一般认为怎么样。那可以用虚主词 it 来改写，句型就会是 it 加上 be 动词 believed that 主词加动词。例如 The temple is believed to be over 800 years old。也可以说 It is believed that the temple is over 800 years old。一般认为那座寺庙有超过800年的历史。那第二重点是 harm's way， 它表示险境。harm 它表示危害伤害，那 in harm's way 则表示置于险境之中。out of harm's way 则是表达安全地，在安全的地方。举例来说 It's natural for parents to keep their children out of harm's way。 父母让小孩远离危险是很自然的事。好，那以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Taro is a very popular ingredient in some Asian countries. Surprisingly, though, the leaves and the stems of Asian taro can be poisonous, as they contain those same raphides found in pothos and dumb cane. Therefore, try to avoid touching unfamiliar leaves when you go hiking. Far more deadly than Asian taro is the tung tree, which blooms in Taiwan around May during the Hakka Tung Blossom Festival. A tung tree can grow as high as 20 meters, and its fruits contain seeds used to manufacture tung oil, an effective wood finish. Just one of these seeds, though, can be enough to kill someone if eaten. Oleander is grown across Asia, and, like the tung tree, is known for its pretty flowers. In Taiwan, oleanders are often grown along highways, as they are believed to improve air quality. While they are beautiful and good for the environment, they are also deadly if eaten. Although there are plenty of poisonous plants around us every day, that doesn't mean we should be worried. Learning about them is the first step to staying safe and being able to enjoy nature without putting ourselves in harm's way.
Hey, 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 it's KiWi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie.
And today we are going to work on some translations.
Hi.
That's not very nice. Usually, if we need to excuse ourselves to pick up a phone call, there are more polite ways to do it instead of just walking off.
Ooh, sorry, wrong number.
Well, especially if it's a wrong number. Today, we are going to learn how to translate to be polite to excuse ourselves.
Sorry. So we are going to work on some translation activities. So please choose one. Okay, the first one we have.
在你继续说下去前，我有一些想法想提出。
Before you continue speaking, there are some thoughts that I want to share. Can you say for one more time?
Yes.
在你继续说下去前，我有一些想法想提出。
Before you're about to speak or voice out your opinion, let me say mine first.
Okay, sure. Or before you continue, I would like to share some of my thoughts. 不好意思，我有个紧急电话要接。
I'm sorry, but I'm receiving a phone call. I need to take it.
Sorry, I have a phone call, an emergency phone call to pick up.
Very, very good.
Sorry, I got a emergency phone to pick up.
Very good. Sorry, I have an emergency phone call to pick up, okay? Or sorry, this is an emergency, I gotta get this. All right, very good. So, what did we learn today? Today, we did some translations, and they were about interrupting a situation. And sometimes interruption can be kind of awkward, but we can still do it politely. So our first phrase is, before you move on, I'd like to say something. Or you can also say, before you continue, I would like to share some of my ideas with you. And the last one is, excuse me, I have an emergency call. You can also say, sorry, I have to pick up this call. It's an emergency. And these are our translations for today. KiWi later.